What's up? We are back on live. We have an extremely talented artist coming up. We got an awesome guitarist named Sierra coming on. What is up? We're just going to invite her really quick. Super excited. Hi, Bumblefoot. What's up? Sending those rock horns.
Hi.
Hi, girl. What's up?
Hi. Hi. Good. How are you?
I am swell. I love your background.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool. You guys, I'm so enthusiastic about Sierra right here. But
Thank you.
before I get into this interview, I need to make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. It is
Yes.
Levesque.
That's, you know what? It should be that based on how it's spelled. But, I think you're going to be surprised. It's actually just Levesque. Imagine there's no, yeah. I know. It's actually crazy. It's French. So my family's very French. And in French, it's supposed to be Sierra Levesque. So that's how you say it in French. But English, it's like, is there an S? Is there a Q? All I say to people is imagine it's just a K at the end. Levesque.
Gotcha. Sierra Levesque. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Communicait. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Audience, so we're going to get into your ever-blossoming career. You have so much ahead of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
We're performing with Nancy Wilson of Heart, which is huge, by the way. Tell me how old you are and tell me about that experience with her. What was that like?
Well, I have always been a big fan of Heart. The voice of Ann Wilson, just so powerful and great, and I've always loved belting my own songs. So sometimes people like to say, and I'm very grateful, but sometimes people say that my singing and performing is kind of a combination of the powerful voice of Ann with the catchy guitar of Nancy. So I've been hearing that for a while, and I really do look up to them. So when I was presented with this opportunity to do the rock camp, it was through Rock Fantasy Camp that I was able to do this. It was a few-day week in Los Angeles, and there was Melissa Etheridge, Orianthi, Nancy Wilson, and even Kathy Valentine of the Go-Go's. So it was a great all-women weekend, and Nancy, the moment she walked in, I think I'll share this video on social media soon, but there's a video of me waiting to see her walk into the tent where we were, and I was just freaking out, so excited. And she actually found me on Instagram about a year and a half to 2 years ago when I posted a cover of Magic Man. So ever since then, she's been commenting and so kind. And so when I saw her in person for the first time, I was just so excited. And then when I knew, oh goodness, I'm going to have to remember how to play Crazy on You, that's when I started getting a little bit nervous. So we waited a bit, and finally we were able to perform. So I performed Crazy on You with her and Barracuda, which was an amazing opportunity. She was just so kind, and she even looked at me at one point and said, Sierra, you remind me a lot of me when I was younger, and that was the biggest compliment I could ever receive. So Nancy Wilson is my idol.
That is so amazing. Good for you. I feel like you are going to be a staple in this next generation's rock and roll,
Thank you.
And I think she believes that too. I remember seeing that video, and if you haven't seen that video, it's on Sierra's page. I just saw Nancy's face like light up. She's like, whoa, look at this kid right now, like this young kid that's absolutely slaying this.
Thank you.
We definitely saw that, and I hope that you do too. So let's talk a little bit about your influences. The artists that you cover range from the Black Crowes to Johnny Cash, which is epic, and Megadeth even, which is quite what bands are you listening to right now that are influencing your playing the most?
Well, I would say my listening taste changes very often. Anyone who knows me knows that if they're coming for a ride in the car with me, I usually play a different album every week because I really like listening to a lot. But right now, the main things I really enjoy are Ghost, my favorite band, Ghost. Yep, just so great, and I got to see them live not too long ago. So their music, especially their music that has to do with piano, really has inspired me to write some of my own songs like that. And as I mentioned, Heart, I'm always listening to some kind of Heart song, as well as old Avril Lavigne, or her early days where she was young, yes, and some people always say, oh, she's too pop. Well, no, her piano songs and her songs that have guitar in them really do sound a lot like some of mine that I've written. So she's been a great inspiration as well, and I would say a few others are the Scorpions. a lot of their music has also inspired me recently and just in general to write.
Ooh,
And
I think she
just,
froze. We're gonna get
oh,
her back, you guys.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. I see you
You're back.
there. Sorry about that. Yes, I think sometimes the Wi-Fi can be a bit dodgy. Okay. Anyways, all good now? Great. Okay. So, like I said, Scorpions, very inspirational, love their music. And that's pretty much the main things. Rammstein, love them. Ramstein, Rammstein, either way you say it. They're just so great, and they've also been just great to listen to. I'm not sure if I'll be singing German anytime soon, but
Yeah,
but they have inspired me, so yes.
yeah. Add like you could just keep adding more and more stuff to your repertoire because like you're just that versatile, you know.
Thank
And
you.
I
Yes,
think
for sure.
a broad audience because you take influences such as Avril Lavigne and all the way to Megadeth, and I think that's really special.
Thank you. I try my best.
Uh, another time for Cait to butcher someone's name. I hope I won't. But you performed at Joanne Trattoria.
I think it's Joanne Trattoria, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
That was my first guess, but I thought I might be wrong.
yeah.
Italian restaurant in New York City owned by Lady Gaga's parents. Woo woo. This is so incredible for a young player as your such as yourself, or any player really, to play here. What is your advice to other guitarists your age trying to get into live shows full time?
Well, ever since I was about 7 years old, so for about 10 years now, which is crazy. I'm not ready to be 18. So I'm still holding on to 17. But for about 10 years, I've been performing really anywhere where I can get, whether it's somewhere that's not paid, a charity gig, a gig at a retirement home. I've even played on farms, and in Canada, it can get pretty cold. So in the winter, you'll be randomly performing places where you're covered in snow, and it's just definitely been a crazy ride of going many different places, but they've all really helped me to appreciate just the art of practicing different songs in front of people, having different crowds hear my music, and so it's been a great experience to really do that. And nowadays I'm trying to look for more and more performances for myself, especially larger ones like the one in New York. But as I mentioned, I would say my best advice is play anywhere you can, no matter how much you're getting paid, no matter how strange you think the location is. There's always some kind of benefit from any show at all, and you're always able to just say that you did one more show that year. So it's a great opportunity.
I totally agree with you there. You know, as artists, we got to play wherever we can.
Yeah.
You know, it helps us perfect our craft, but also you never know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that really shows. So when we're speaking about live performances, when perfecting your set list for a live gig, what is your process for picking out material? And what about practicing? Do you have any practice techniques that are your go-to before a live performance?
For sure. So for the set list part, I always have a running list of all the songs that I know on Excel on my computer. So what I do is I usually keep a few ones that I know are crowd pleasers, especially around here. A lot of people like country music and certain things like that.
Right.
So I know which ones to add for almost every show. And I also have my show closers, like I always play Stairway to Heaven at most of my shows, which everyone loves, and Crazy on You by Heart is always the one that people enjoy hearing. Yeah, so it's always about pleasing the crowd, and like I said, depending on if I go to a certain place and I have a feel as to what the crowd might be like, or if they're older, younger, I try to cater to that. So I usually go through my list of songs that I know and create the set list based on the time that I have, and I kind of have it memorized now for certain times, so that's good. But yeah, it's just kind of a matter of thinking what song comes good after this one. What's the emotion? What's the speed? I don't usually like playing, two sad songs after another. That might start to get a bit sad. So try to really mix it up and keep it interesting. And for practicing, I really like doing it based on the show again. It's kind of, if I know I have something coming up, I'll learn a certain song, or I'll be really working on it to try and please someone who's requested that. So it's really a show by show basis. And in the meantime, when I'm not preparing for shows, I'm usually working on recording my own music or learning songs for social media covers. So it's been great, really range of practicing for different goals.
And that just goes to show how hard that you work.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely have a very full week every week. I have the same schedule, same lessons each day, each week. So it's been great.
You get
Yeah.
to 17, you are a full-time artist. At least like a lot of other people's eyes, you're just kind of killing this full time. So keep at it and you're going to go to the moon.
Thank you. I hope so. You as well. I love all the shows you've been playing. I always watch your videos. So great.
If you ever come to upstate New York, which I'm sure you have because you've been to Canada and stuff, I would love to get a show together or maybe like split a set or something like
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome. I'll definitely keep you in touch if I ever do because I love the idea of that. And I've actually done that in North Carolina when I went there. My boyfriend's band is actually there. So that's what we did. We decided we would split a show. We had a co-headlining show at a place. So that's definitely something that I love.
I think you draw in a ton of people too.
Thank you. I mean, we'll see. I'm lucky to have the support on social media too, so that always helps.
Yep, shout out to the fans.
Yes, thank you.
So what are your favorite picking techniques, like hybrid picking, finger picking, like in your brain, like what would you say does it want to do most?
Mostly, and it's a little bit different because it's not what I do all the time, but I love any chance to finger pick. I have quite a few songs that don't have finger picking in it in the normal recording, and I've taken it with the help of my guitar teacher, and we've made it into kind of a different format of a song where I'm able to make it even quieter or softer using the finger picking. So that's been great.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of your finger picking videos, and you're incredible at that technique.
Thank you very much. It's fun.
Yeah, as for me, like as my guitar playing goes, I'm definitely not there yet. Like with finger picking, like does not want to do it.
Well, that's okay.
Such a hard strummer, and that's where I started. But girl, like I would totally take a lesson from you.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, it's definitely very fun. And on a side note, I do teach. So that's something else I do. On top of me doing my own stuff, I also really enjoy teaching others. And I teach children, adults, all of different ages. So it's been a great opportunity and always love sharing any advice.
You guys heard her. If you're looking for a guitar teacher, this is your girl.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so how did you write and record your solo for your original song, Get Off My Stage? Because I've seen you do that with a full band. Like, what was your process of writing that? Did it just come to your head and you wrote it out note for note?
Well, I would say I really wanted a solo that sounded at least more complicated than the other ones I had written so far. I was really working on trying to get the vibe of the song because in the song I say I'm the one who really plays, talking about music. So if I say that and then can't play a solo that sounds up to that par, it's a little bit sad. So I sat down and I was trying to come up with something that followed the melody well, but also worked with the difficulty that I wanted it to be. So what I did was the main song has this little target line, key line in the guitar, goes na 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 na, like over and over. So what I did with it, took those exact notes, na 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 na, and I figured out a way to tap them, so it'd be ba ba ba, but then in between that little thing, so it's na da 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 da. It really emphasizes that through the tapping. So another way to kind of emphasize that melody, and always great in my own solos to kind of bring back the main sound. I love playing a solo that is even when I'm singing, or something that you hear in the song over and over. I like keeping it all together, kind of what a lot of the bands who I like do. As I mentioned, Ghost, Scorpions, their solos are really great and melodic and fit with the song, so I always love doing that.
And that's very, very smart because people like to hear solos that they remember, they're catchy, and that remember your melody too, of like what singing, and they might remember the lyrics more that way. Like it all ties in together. So
for sure,
loved your tapping on that solo too.
Thank you. Yeah, and I record everything here at my house through my computer with Logic Pro X, and then I have an interface. So what I do is I set everything up, record it, and then I send it all over to Bumblefoot, Ron, my guitar teacher, also my producer, mentor, friend. He'll be on soon. Check out his episode with Communicait, everyone. It's coming on the 17th, I believe. Yes, so check that out.
Yeah, I believe it's the 17th. I believe you're correct.
Yep. Yes.
course, too.
Yeah, so yes, I send it all to him, and then we mix it together through Zoom. It's been great.
You guys make a great team. That's so cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Bumblefoot's a great guy, as you mentioned. I can tell, very knowledgeable, and he's got a great personality. He's very down to earth. You know, and that's a rare thing in this industry. So keep having on your side, and you're gonna go so far.
Yes.
And you're already doing that. You're already doing that.
Thank you.
Really good intuition about who to work with, and that's an
Thank
important.
you. For sure. He's definitely great. I can't even say enough good things about him. So it's definitely, I'm glad to see I'm looking forward to your episode together. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's kind of switch to acoustic a little bit. What acoustic are you using right now that's your favorite?
Well, I really, really love the one I was sent by Fender, the kind man named Billy at Fender. It's actually right here with me. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's my little baby. Here it is. I'm trying to see if I can show the body here. It's stuck around my stand. There we go. Here it is. Here she is. It's a Fender Acoustasonic Stratocaster body, but there was a little bit of an interesting thing I discovered. So it's a Stratocaster body, but the neck says Telecaster. So it's kind of like a little mutant of two great Fender bodies. And yeah, it's very versatile, many different sounds just through switching the pickup of the guitar. So you don't even need an amp, which is great. And I love that one for just going different places, playing a range of songs. So that's my main acoustic right now, Acoustasonic, that I've been using. But I also have a close tie with my amazing Rain Song guitar. It's one that you may have seen on my videos quite a lot. It's a carbon fiber guitar, so it's completely black, all carbon fiber, no wood, so it has a different sound than what you may expect, and that's been really great too, because in Canada, the temperature often stretches or bends necks if you leave them in the car, for say, if you go to a gig and it's cold outside. That one, you don't have to worry at all about that. You don't have to have a humidifier or anything like that because there's no wood to take care of, which is great. So
that's epic. That's the future.
Yeah, it's been great. I really love it, and I love acoustic guitar. As you can tell from my videos, I do perform a lot of shows acoustically, just based on the vibe at restaurants, and it's just a great way to really have a different kind of craft to show off, kind of like your finger picking, your different melodic things, because it's not very easy to do a solo on an acoustic guitar. So you kind of got to build around that. You have to make different versions of songs that may usually be electric. So it's great. I really enjoy it.
Right. You got to keep audiences right on. So, are you endorsed by any guitar companies? And if not, who is your dream company to work with? Like, is there any company that you want to shout out and be like, yo, you should work with me?
Well, right now I'm very, very grateful to be with Gator Cases. So they're a guitar case company and also a company that makes a lot of different things, from cases for in-ear monitors to really cool, intricate guitar stands and rack systems that you can use. They even make furniture that looks like guitar cases. So if I have a house one day, I know what chairs I'm buying because they're so cool. So they've been great. Right now, unfortunately, I think their Instagram is broken or hacked. So if you look for them here on Instagram, you might not find it. But they have Facebook, Gator Cases. They've been great. And they also own Levi's straps, which is a great strap company. Almost everyone uses Levi's. And so I'm also with them as well, which has been great. And as for literal guitar-wise, Fender is right now my main company that I'm working with. As I mentioned, they've sent me this guitar, which has been amazing. And they've also been kind enough to send me an amp. So I use only Fender amps at the moment. Fender is just my favorite amp to bring around for bass, guitar, acoustic, anything like that. And they just have been so kind. And like I said, Billy at Fender has just been really easy to work with and understands what I'm looking for in my sound and really just supports what I do. So that's been very nice, and thank you, Fender. So I hope to be, my call out to the universe might be maybe that I'll be featured on their social media one day. Please, if possible. Yeah.
Well, spoken it into existence, so it's gonna happen.
We'll see. Yes, for sure.
So I do want to just take this time to say I only have a couple questions left for Sierra. And I do see some people asking questions in the comments. So we have a few of those in just about 5 minutes here. I also believe there is a question tab. If you want us to see it easier, you can type them in the tab, everybody. So if you guys have questions, definitely let her know. So if you had your own signature electric guitar, what would the features be and what color would you go for?
Well, I was thinking about this question yesterday because I was looking and I was thinking, I've been asked this question by some people, and my answer is always, I'm not sure. So I was thinking, you know what, in case she asks me this, I'm gonna really have an answer prepared. So my answer is that because I'm lucky enough to have so many different guitars, it's a bit hard to choose specific woods, specific fret lengths, because I've honestly gotten used to having so many different things that I'm not sure if there's a specific wood, specific, really down to the nitty gritty specifics that I prefer right now. But if I were to come up with my own guitar, I know that it would be a dark ebony fretboard, closest to black as possible. I love a fretboard that's very black. If it's light brown, it's not my favorite for myself. I don't know why. It's kind of just a preference. So definitely for sure a dark, dark fretboard. I also love the 24 frets, the longer necks, because it's easier to do higher solos on, so I definitely have that. And as for shape and color, it would be somewhat of an interesting shape. I'd like it to be a shape where you know that that's my guitar, kind of like how St. Vincent's signature guitar, you say, oh look, that's a St. Vincent guitar. It has a little shape like that. And so maybe something along the lines of a Gibson Firebird shape, but not exactly the same. Something a little bit out there that looks unique enough so you can tell that it's a Sierra guitar. And as for color, I always love sparkles and black. So I would say that it would probably be black base with probably some type of silver sparkle somewhere embedded in it, which would be cool.
Oh, that'd be fire. I can like it now. That'd be straight fire.
I know. I think it would be cool. I definitely love the chance to do it one day, and I've also always thought of doing a custom shop build. Even Fender has an amazing custom shop. There's so many great custom shops. So maybe someday soon we'll be seeing kind of the beginning processes of what that may look like.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes.
So again, you guys, if you have any questions, just type them here or type them in the question tab, because this is my last question for Sierra. So if you want to ask anything, just type it below. So tell me about any upcoming gigs or collaborations that you got coming up.
Yes, right now I've been taking kind of a little bit of a pause from too many live shows just so I can have more chance to work on my songwriting, posting, and recording. So really the main thing that I have coming up is I'm hoping to travel up to the Yukon, which is right beside Alaska. So it's a Canadian province and it's very cold, kind of a lot of snow, but there's a great rock festival happening up there with many artists who are well known in Canada and in the rock scene in general. One woman named Sash Jordan, who's been a big female rocker who's great, and also a few members of the band called the Killer Dwarfs, which was really big in the 80s on MTV. They had all these videos. If you look them up on YouTube, it's so great. Their videos are just classic 80s. Awesome. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be opening for that festival. So that's going to be my next big one, early November, hopefully. And other than that, like I said, right now my main plan is to continue working here at home. I'll most likely be singing the national anthem for a few of our hockey teams as I do every winter. That's starting up again. But yeah, it's just been a summer jam-packed full of shows 2, 3, 4 times a week. So now it's kind of dying down with the cold weather coming. So more of posting, and you'll definitely be seeing some more things from me online. But like I said, the main thing in person is that Yukon one coming up.
That sounds exciting, and that's got to be really pretty in that area too.
I think so. I think you can see the northern lights at certain times of the year, so there's all these pretty lights in the sky, and it's going to be a really great atmosphere if it all works out, so I'm hoping that that's going to be great.
That's definitely going to be a great one. I did see a few questions. I do have one in the tab, but
awesome.
Somebody asked if you like Chet Atkins.
Okay, well, thank you for the question. I've definitely learned about him a lot because I did a rock history course in 2019, just before COVID started, with Berklee Online. And they provide many different 12-week courses. And this one was literally just called Rock History 101. So we went from the 1930s all the way to today for every single artist, and I just got a really good in-depth learn about every single person you could imagine. So he was definitely on that list, and there's just so many. I had to do an essay every week about something different. So it was a great opportunity. But you know what? I'll have to learn a Chet Atkins song soon because that's a great idea.
Yeah, dude. Thoughts on the Jim Roots telly, and this is from Prince Undead or Price.
Oh. Well, thank you for the question too. I'm not sure if I've seen it yet. I'll have to take a better look at that. Jim Root, I think he's awesome because, man, so cool. But you know what? Thank you for telling me about that because I'll have to check that out. And, you know, Tellys are always great guitars, amazingly built, so I'm sure it's definitely going to be a good one. And I'll let you know if I check it out soon. And you never know. I'm just trying to stop myself right now from buying more guitars. It's almost bad. So hopefully hopefully I'll look at it in a few months maybe so that I can make sure I don't tempt myself.
Buying guitars and gear, it can be such a struggle. Like,
I know.
Whenever something new comes out or you see somebody's gear on stage, you're like,
Yeah.
that's solid.
Yeah, or when people keep telling you about different ones and kind of you start looking at them, you just get sucked into the dark web of guitar buying.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a rabbit hole for sure.
Yep.
I do believe that might be it. I'm gonna allow for like another minute if anybody has a last minute question. But yeah, Sierra, thank you so much for coming on. I gotta say, you're so well spoken for 17.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, yeah, I just, whatever you have going on, I support you, and I'll definitely help promote it whenever you need it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and you as well. Always love watching your posts, and I love being a part of the all women collab earlier this year. That was so great. Thank you again for having me, and I know that got a really good response from everyone, and I'm glad it raised a good amount of money. So that's great. That's really good.
Yeah. Don't know, Sierra was actually on Bradley Hall and I's All Women Shred collab for There With Care, and that racked up quite a good response. It's got almost 200K, I think, on YouTube right now, and all of the collabs total have reached pretty much over 1 million. So thank you for the support on those. But yeah, somebody said Pembroke. Love.
Oh gosh, that's my mom. Hi, Mom. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, there's another comment. Thank you.
Yeah. Said, if either of you come to the UK, what venues, cities, or festivals here would you like to be a part of? I'll let you question because
okay. Thank you. Well, I guess I would always say that my dream venue to perform at in my life, if you ask me before something happens to me, what do I want to do? Wembley Stadium. Yep, Wembley is my number one. It's just so amazing, all the legacy and just, from even Live Aid in the 80s to just so many things that have just really been iconic in that venue. So that would be my number one in the UK, and thank you for the question. I hope to make it out there sooner than later. That would be so great. Actually, my Instagram friend, Cassidy Paris, she's from, I think, Australia, and right now she's about to go on a tour in the UK. So if you're looking for another rocker girl who rocks, check her out because she's going to be there. And maybe we'll meet up in the UK someday for some shows. So that's great.
You know what would be super cool? It would be awesome to put together like a girl power or like all women shredders tour.
Yeah, that would be so cool. We could have
any ideas? I shouldn't, because I'll try to do something. Like that.
That's true. What about you? Do you have any venues you'd like to perform at in the UK?
I mean, I would say what you said, Wembley Stadium is probably, that's like an iconic one. I know there's a lot of like different festivals I've been invited to here and there, just at like these bars, or I forget the name of it, but I know there's this festival in the UK where like every bar does something at once.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it's a bunch of bands.
That's awesome.
Obviously I couldn't get a plane ticket at the time. It was a little short notice.
Yeah.
But like that. That's awesome. Somebody asked if you like shredding.
Yes, I do. I mean, yeah, I definitely love learning guitar solos and just a lot of learning and trying different things. I always, like Cait mentioned earlier, try to do different bands, different genres even. So right now I'm on a Megadeth kick, as she mentioned.
Yeah.
My next post on social media, my next cover, will be a Megadeth song on guitar only. So I'm really working hard on that. They just have so many complicated parts, so it's just a matter of getting it down good enough so that Instagram accepts it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure the community will embrace it. I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Hopefully.
Yeah, guys, that will conclude our time with Sierra, but go follow her if you don't already. If you're new to my name is Cait. I'm just an awkward ginger. I'm not explain it. I mean, this background is a little confusing. I'm just a random ginger doing a lot of stuff. I also sing and play. But next up is gonna be
Woo!
and good friend. So can't wait to talk about what he's got going on.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much again for having me on. I'm really looking forward to that next episode. Everyone, please be sure to check out Cait. She's so amazing. She's not just a ginger. She is just so many good things. She is an organizer of videos. She performs all the time, live streams. And by the way, a shout out to your banner that you bring to all your live shows. I'm getting one made, hopefully for myself, based on yours. I showed it to my parents, and so we're getting it in the works because I showed them, I said, this is what I want.
Like, if as long as you have, I call it my giant business card, and that helps attract so many fans, because if they don't, like, if they're on, like, rushing out the door and they can't get a tiny business card, they can just take a picture of that.
Yes, for sure. It's so great.
But yeah, we will perform together. I'm positive of it.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much again. Thank you, everyone, for your questions, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you so much.